Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jase teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, let's start with Dedeker this week. How are you doing today?
I'm cold, because we're in a cold place now.
That's true.
Yeah.
You were in a fairly cold place. I mean, to me, you were in a fairly cold place before.
Well, everywhere's a cold place compared to Los Angeles. Yeah,
That's
Jason and I
true.
are at his brother's place in Minneapolis, and it turns out the Midwest is significantly cooler and colder than the West Coast.
Yeah, that's
I like that you
absolutely
said
the
it
case.
turns out.
cooler and colder. That's nice.
Like, it's like cool, dude. Cooler?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Cool
Okay.
vibes, cool
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful
yeah,
there.
cool vibes.
I've been once. Nice. Well, how are you doing, Jase?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. It's, I'm not at my normal desk, so I'm trying to do this show on a much smaller monitor. And it is proving to be a little challenging because I don't know if y'all know this listening to this, but to do this live show, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different windows open at the same time to be able to
Wow.
manage all of the live audio and read the Bible and check our
Goodness.
And
document
one of
and
them's
record.
the very
and-
important joke meter, right? That controls how funny we are or aren't at any
Yeah.
given
Oh,
time.
I see.
Yeah, so unfortunately today I've had to kind of put that one behind other windows, so
Oh, no.
I'm not going
So
to be
it might
able
be
to
rough.
monitor it as closely
Wow.
as usual.
We'll try to up the level of jokes and make them funny, despite the joke meter being
It's a
behind
manual
everything else.
joke adjustment.
Yeah, we just
Exactly.
got to manually tune it in as we go this time instead of being lazy and letting
Totally.
the computer do it for us.
No, absolutely.
Do you remember what the heck happened last time, Emily?
It was kind of more of the same. What am I looking at here? Virgin. Oh yeah, that was the big one. The big
Whoa.
prophecy that all y'all said was such a huge thing, and I
Which
was like,
was?
okay,
Which was
that a baby's gonna come and be the Messiah or something. That a
Well,
virgin,
no. I
a
mean-
baby who is born from a virgin.
Yes.
well,
Or something.
yeah.
And then we had a lot of debate over what virgin meant specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a woman who is unmarried? Is it a woman who has not had sex yet?
Is
is
it
it
a woman who
just a
hasn't had a
young
baby
woman?
yet?
Yes.
Right.
There's that one too. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. There's a lot of questioning there. So we don't actually know, but anyways, probably Christians latch onto this, right? And,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like, there, Jesus, he was
Yes.
prophesized.
Definitely.
Well, right.
Like
we
Harry
were,
Potter.
we exactly like Harry Potter, where some people
Yeah.
are like, actually, it's Neville, and then other people are like, actually, it's Harry Potter, but we don't know. 'Cause
There you
that's
go, and
how
there you get the
prophecies
different
work.
religions from J.K. Rowling or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
fascinating.
In 300
yeah.
years' time.
And we
Yeah.
also talked about how at the time of the writing of the New Testament, I mean, this is way ahead of where we are, but at that time, the book of the prophet Isaiah was super popular at the time. So it gets
Oh.
quoted a lot in the Gospels in the New Testament. So all this stuff we're reading, a lot of it is going to come back. So if you
Okay.
haven't been paying attention up till now, I recommend starting to pay attention. So hopefully it'll make the New Testament in several years when we get there. You'll kind of get more things, I guess.
And then we also had a lot of references, this strange metaphor about these garbage grapes that were growing.
Oh, yeah. These grapes that essentially just were terrible. Don't eat them. They were from garbage trees. Garbage grapes from garbage trees. I don't
Garbage
know.
Well,
vines.
grapes
Yeah.
don't really come
Yeah.
from trees, but maybe garbage grapes come from garbage
vines.
trees.
Fine,
Oh,
garbage
okay.
grapes from garbage vines.
Maybe that was
and
their
what, they
problem.
There you go. They were essentially what the people of
yeah.
Israel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're
They're
like,
garbage
these are
grapes.
garbage people.
No good
and
for
garbage
wine.
grapes.
Because it turns out that's what Yahweh's actually doing this whole time, is just raising people to make some people wine for his delight and enjoyment.
That's horrifying. Yahweh's like big feet are stamping.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
He's
Oh my
crushing them
goodness.
himself.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Well, so yeah,
Exciting.
this book does talk a lot about the threat of crushing, so I suppose that makes sense.
Really?
The question
Wait, have we
is,
gotten there yet?
the question is, no, I just mean in general. Remember, he was talking about like how bad it's going to be, and you all are so terrible that you're going to get
yeah.
destroyed and stuff. I think
Well,
last
that's
week,
kind of same old.
yeah, last week was a
We're
little
always
more
hearing about how terrible they are.
positive, and I
Yeah.
think we'll see if today's going to be more positive, or if we're going to go back into the and you're all going to die and suffer, and it's going to be horrible, and we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we will. Well, what are you two drinking for Isaiah 9 through 11?
Well, mostly whiskey. I'm just having a plain old Crown Royal myself.
I'm really impressed with you two that you can just like drink straight whiskey. Like, my partner can do that as well, and it's really, I mean, he loves it. Like a cigar and whiskey, just a wonderful night for him. But for me, it smells like gasoline. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really smell like gasoline. It smells like wood gasoline to me. I put
Okay.
a little bit of water in my whiskey to open it up. That helps me. Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah,
Are you drinking
so
the exact same thing, Jase?
I'm having the same, but the main feature of mine that's going to be hard to show off here is this glass. Now, you can see that it's laser etched. It says podcasts. And there is also this matching,
Podcasts.
what's this thing called?
Decanter.
Sure. Decanter with this laser etched podcasts on it. And so when Dedeker and I showed up at my brother's place a few days ago, I was like, so Josh, tell me about this little set of this decanter and 2 glasses. And he said apparently it was a client of his who sent him this, apparently knowing that it was a little bit silly and ironic, but podcasts. So
Love it.
Because he's a podcast's agent? Is
No,
that
Josh
it?
makes all the podcasts in the world. That's why. He is
Yeah.
the font from which all podcasts spring.
I mean,
yeah,
not ours.
It's like
but
that.
is-
There's that song written about him that's like, praise Josh from whom all podcasts flow.
Podcast flow. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't
We'll
get
have to
that
workshop
reference,
that.
but I'm
We're gonna
glad that
workshop
y'all
that.
do. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, nice. I'm glad that you have this beautiful decanter and these beautiful glasses and this whiskey that tastes like wood gasoline. I am having... So I was at the store and I was like, ooh, a pomegranate. That looks fun. And also a little scary to work with because I've like never literally opened a pomegranate before, but I did. And I muddled the juice and it's very red.
Oh, wow.
And it's beautiful. So yeah, it tastes really nice. So this is just pomegranate juice, lime juice, vodka, and a little bit of agave and muddled mint leaves. You can see them here.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I took pictures. I'll have to post all of these. I need to like write down what I'm doing with each of these because otherwise I will forget.
Well, I think I'm ready for Isaiah to drop some more bars on us and some more off the wall abstract poetry and imagery and storytelling.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely, he will.
Well, today we are continuing on with the book of Isaiah, featuring Lin-Manuel Miranda, reading chapters 9 through 11 today. 3 chapters, so it's a normal 3-chapter day. If you want to read along with us, you can go to drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in Isaiah 9-11. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, it's Isaiah chapter 9. But there shall be no gloom to her who was in anguish.
Like we're just driving
Who's
straight
she?
into it as though we've been just talking the whole time. It's got to be Israel, right? He
think
loves
so.
making Israel into a sad
okay.
woman.
Yeah, the Daughters of
yeah.
Zion, I think, is still
Yeah,
the
I
metaphor
just- I'm
we're
just
going
assuming.
I
with.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, that lady. In the former time, he brought into contempt the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. Naphtali. I know both of these names,
Yeah.
but refresh me on what they are. They're lands?
Well, they were originally sons
People?
of Jacob.
Jacob. Okay, I should know that. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Whoops.
Yeah, so they were the Jacob and Sons.
I mean, kind of B-list of Jacob's sons, to be
Yeah,
fair.
definitely. They were some of the sons that just like got a name, like
Yeah,
they were
just
named sons,
names
but
in
that
the
was
list.
it. They
Yeah.
probably didn't even get a line.
I mean, there were some prophecies about them, but yeah, I don't know if they got any actual lines in the Bible.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyway, now they're tribes, right? Because all the tribes were from the
Yes.
12 brothers.
Got it. Okay. So he brought into contempt the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, but in the latter time he has made it glorious by way of the sea beyond the Jordan. Galilee of the nations.
Oh, that's
Galilee.
Galilee.
What is Galilee?
Galilee
It's a
is a land that's
Another land?
gonna stay important through all of the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Yeah, so that's why you got to learn how to say
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
quote unquote
Galilee.
correctly.
right.
Okay, I was like, I don't think we've seen this land before, but apparently all y'all know that it's a big deal. So now I know. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who lived in the land of the shadow of death, on them has the light shined. You have multiplied the nation. You have increased their joy. They joy before you according to the joy and harvest.
They joy before you in the joy, and then they joy into
Yes,
the joy canon
they're
and
joying.
joy all
They're
over the
joying all over
joy.
the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so they joy before you according to the joy and harvest.
Okay, this is, all right. Oh, that's
No,
just what it is.
I was
All
all
right.
right. As men rejoice when they divide the spoil. Fascinating. I mean, that makes sense, but it's also like a weird, like that's what they chose to say was the most joyous thing that men deal with in their lives.
Getting free stuff. Don't you overjoice when you're getting free
it's
stuff?
awesome. Are you
Especially if it's free
kidding?
stuff that you've stolen from your neighbor.
No,
Wouldn't
but
you rejoice? What if they had really sweet stuff though? Like stuff you've always wanted.
I'm not visiting my neighbor or like anyone at this point, okay?
True.
But what if, okay, hold on. But what if you just knew, like Yahweh had told you, you are way better than your neighbor. Yahweh likes you way better than your neighbor. And as a matter of fact, like your neighbors suck. They're terrible. They do awful things. They give babies
I would
to
never
demon gods. Would you not steal their PS5 and rejoice over
I
it?
definitely want a PS5, and we've been looking like every single
there you
day
go.
on the
Okay, but
on
think about-
the
but-
internet. But no,
But if your neighbor was evil and you stole it from them, would you not
And
rejoice?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson told you it's okay.
no, I still wouldn't believe him because God works in mysterious ways.
Well, that's why
So-
you should believe him. You
I don't
already
know.
have the like rank and file Christian sense of logic and like the pat answers to give to things.
Do I? I don't think that
You
that's...
okay? That was a surprising instinct where you're like, God works in mysterious ways. Like you're already learning, Emily.
true, you are
She's
learning.
I'm learning,
Jase.
but it does. But the thing is, I'm learning because I'm not indoctrinated yet or at all, and because I know God works in mysterious ways, but that means a lot of things. A lot of
Yes,
things.
it
Okay.
does.
All right.
It does. Okay.
Let's continue. For the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, you know what I mean, you have broken as in the day of Midian. For all the armor of the armed man in the tumult, and the garments rolled in blood, shall be for burning, for fuel of fire. Yuck. They're like rolling garments in blood. I don't know. What is happening?
You're prophesying.
Cool.
It's prophesying.
Okay, whatever. For to us a child is born. Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah.
To us a son is given, and the
Potentially,
government,
literally, yeah.
or whomever, and the government shall be on his shoulder.
Okay, so
It's funny that
Whole
you laugh at
government
that
is sitting
because-
right there. Yes, because we just had an inauguration, and I'm like, the entire government is sitting right there.
Right on Joseph R. Biden's little shoulders.
Yeah,
No,
or
it's
Jesus's.
It's funny that you laughed at that because that particular verse, for unto us a child is born, for unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders, yada, yada, yada. That's another verse that gets repeated so often to Christians, specifically around Christmas for me and my upbringing. And like I heard it so many times to think about the literal image of the government on his shoulders was no longer funny
Yeah.
to me. But it's so nice that you, as you're learning, Emily,
You're
it's
watching
funny
me
to
learn
you.
in real time.
yeah,
yeah, exactly. I love it.
It must be. I hope that I'm bringing you delight. Because I'm like,
Always.
wow, this is hysterical. Okay, so this shoulder government, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is a wonderful verse, truly. But
it?
it just
Oh,
reminded me of when I was in Turkey for the first time in Istanbul, and I went to the Hagia Sophia, which is this, amazing, preserved, like really, really, really old church. They were uncovering these frescoes that had been painted over so many times. And there was this fresco of the king of Constantinople delivering to the Virgin Mary with the baby Jesus on her lap the gift of the city of Constantinople. Like, he had a tiny version of the city in his hands and he was just giving it to him, and it was like the best birthday gift ever, I imagine.
That's a really good birthday gift.
I know. So that's what it made me think of, having the little bit of shoulder government.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Now please continue.
So now we're like calling him a bunch of stuff, and they're all capitalized. His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there shall be no end.
Something
On
else.
the throne. Yes.
I really want you to appreciate right now is what you just read. The last several lines you just read are word for word verbatim in Handel's Messiah.
Oh.
In
Cool.
the song titled "For Unto Us a Child is Born," I think is the title
Okay.
of that one.
Yes.
Actually, the title might be
Love it.
something else, but that's like the main line in it. But it's
Yeah,
literally
because then they come in,
all
they're
of
like,
that.
Wonderful Counselor.
The
Yes.
mighty God,
I'm not gonna
the
lie.
everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Like literally word for word.
We need to listen to it in our music theory class, Jase, because I really don't know
yeah.
the piece that well,
Oh,
but I
shit.
should.
Yeah,
I know.
we can do
I
that.
know.
It's my
Yeah,
favorite
we
piece
need
of
to
music
listen.
of all time.
I made a
so-
joke last time
Wow.
that Daniel was going to arrange Handel's Messiah for
Oh, and he
the
said
four
that
of
he
us
would.
to sing.
He said he
Emily's
would.
already committed him to it.
No, I mean, I want to. There are many things that I'm like, ooh, this one too, also that are like biblical in theme. Okay. So yeah, all that happened. Of the increase of his government and of peace there shall be no end, on the throne of David and on his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from henceforth even forever. The zeal of Yahweh, such zeal, of hosts will perform this. The Lord sent a word into Jacob and has lighted on Israel.
Oh,
All the
okay.
I don't know. Wait, like Jacob knew? Or what's happening? What?
I think we're back to what we used to do way back in like Exodus, where we refer to kind of all the people as Jacob.
Right. Yeah. Jacob was this,
Amorphous
blanket term.
figure,
Yes.
which
Yes.
actually was a people, a whole
Yes.
people. Okay.
Yes.
All the people shall know, even Ephraim and the inhabitant of Samaria, who say in pride and in arrogance of heart, the bricks are fallen, but we will build with hewn stone. The sycamores are cut down, but we will put cedars in their place.
Hands
There-
down, cedars way better than sycamores. Everyone knows that.
Therefore Yahweh will set up on high against him the adversaries of Rezin, like Trent Reznor, but resin? I don't know, resin. And will
Okay.
stir up his enemies. The Syrians before and the Philistines behind. No, not Siri. No, Siri, no.
Oh no.
She like came up and was like, the Syrians before and I'm like, no. Sorry, everyone. Sorry.
Siri, the secret fourth host of Drunk Bible Study.
Exactly. So the Syrians before and the Philistines behind, and they shall devour Israel with open mouth.
Whoa.
For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Yet the people have not turned to him who struck them, neither have they sought Yahweh of hosts. Therefore Yahweh will cut off from Israel head and tail.
Oh, they have a tail.
Head and tail. Yeah, they're like a weird cat beast. I don't know.
I was imagining like a lizard, that drops its tail.
Okay. Wasn't the snake lizard-like? And then he
Yes,
said
the
no more,
serpent.
Yeah.
no more hands, no more feet.
He did not.
By he, I mean God.
Yeah,
I mean the rock.
Yeah,
the
Yahweh
serpent-
did that.
Yeah, the serpent in the Garden of Eden supposedly had limbs And that
Right.
was part of his punishment, is that he had to crawl on his belly and eat
Yeah,
dust.
I think he does pretty well for himself, actually.
which all
but
snakes do to this day.
That's true. They
Very
do.
handy to let loose in your house if you got a dusty house.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yet the people have not turned to him who struck them, neither have they sought Yahweh of hosts. Therefore Yahweh will cut off from Israel head and tail, palm branch, and rush in one day.
I'm assuming this is a
Palm
metaphor
Branch and rush?
I'm going to write that one down for the bonus episode.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of imagery that's very important.
The elder and the honorable man, he is the head. And the prophet who teaches lies, he is the tail.
Oh, they're going to get cut off. I see. Okay, he's explaining the metaphor to us. That's good. That's
okay.
kind.
Well, that's good. I appreciate that. For those who lead this people cause them to err, and those who are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord will not rejoice over their young men, neither will he have compassion on their fatherless and widows, for everyone is profane and an evildoer, and every mouth speaks folly. Wow.
Gosh, even the fatherless and the widows. Normally we don't throw them under the bus, but
Nope,
That's a
everyone.
good point. In fact,
Every
I
single
think
person.
previously, Yahweh has spoken through people saying anyone who's casting aspersions on the fatherless and the widowed are shitty people, Isaiah. Lynn.
I don't know. He's like, I think he feels like he's really powerful in this moment, and he's just like saying whatever he wants.
He's really
like,
pushing
God
the
is
envelope."
speaking through me.
yes.
Yeah. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burns as the fire. It devours the briars and the thorns. Yes, it kindles in the thickets of the forest, and they roll upward in a column of smoke.
Oh, that's some interesting fire
really
physics that
intense.
I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, they're just rolling on upward. Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land burnt up, and the people are as the fuel of fire. No man spares his brother. This is pretty horrifying imagery.
Yeah.
Everyone
dark.
is freaking, burning
Everyone
alive.
is tripping over themselves to throw in their best friend into the fire.
I guess so. One shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied.
Hold
They will never be satisfied.
but okay, one shall
What?
snatch. Who is gonna? Is there like a daisy chain of people trying to eat each other? Is that what's going on?
Sounds about right, yeah. Well,
Are they eating each other, or are they
What
just?
does Eugene have to say?
Ah, Eugene.
this is 20.
Yeah. Okay. So in classic Eugene style, there are no
It's super great,
first numbers. They're
Oh.
like
Eugene.
I have
right? It's just a
18
verse range.
Three.
through 21. Yeah, all in one group here. So it says, their wicked lives raged like an out of control fire, the kind that burns everything in its path. Trees and bushes, weeds and grasses, filling the skies with smoke. Okay, I think that was the rolling
Okay.
up into the sky thing. And then
Yeah.
God of the angel armies, that's all hyphenated. That's all. God of the angel armies
I love it. Wow.
answered fire with fire, set the whole country on fire, turned the people into consuming fires, consuming one
Whoa.
another in their lusts.
Okay, hold on. So he's painting an image
Whoa.
of like wickedness is a fire that's burning up the land. And so Yahweh sets the land on fire again and turns the people in it into fires that also burn
Eat
each other
other
up.
fires.
It's just like
Yeah.
fire cubed.
Fire. Yeah.
And then it says,
Goodness.
appetites insatiable, stuffing and gorging themselves left and right with people and things, but they still starved.
Wow.
So that's kind of what we're going for here.
It's pretty rough. Wow.
I guess the question is it that they're starving for food? It seems like no, this is like fire that's starving. So maybe the fire then is burning
Fire-
out because
The
everything's
fire
burned.
itself is starving.
Yeah, it's
fire
starving
can't
for
eat
more
fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not that I know of now. One shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and oh yeah, I read this. And he shall eat the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm.
Boy.
Oh.
Manasseh, I know, whoa. Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim. What?
What is this? What? Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, attorneys at law? What is happening?
No, it says Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh. It's like
as
Manasseh,
in Manasseh's
comma,
gonna
Ephraim, semicolon, and Ephraim, comma, Manasseh,
gonna-
semicolon.
eat each other mutually
Yeah.
in
I
a
guess.
terrible, fiery way.
Yeah. My
and they
mom is
all ate
asking
their
if
brother.
y'all learned about this in Sunday school.
Definitely not.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, clearly there's verses in Isaiah that we know very, very well, and others that just kind of get skipped over.
Yeah. So they be eating each other, and they together shall be against Judah. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. What's up with that? What's up with this stretched hand?
This Yahweh's smoting hand, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh.
smoten hand. He's still crushing him, slapping him about.
Cool.
He's still mad. He turns fire into fire and
He's always
turns
mad.
people into fire and sets the fiery people against the fire, but he's still mad.
He's still mad.
He's constantly mad.
Even that doesn't make him feel better.
You know how that
Okay.
is, though? When you're just really mad, and so you go and, like, hurt other people, and then you don't feel any better? I think Yahweh's learning that lesson right now.
It's true. There's research shows that, even like punching a pillow or punching a punching bag or like kick dancing or whatever it is you want to do, it's actually not going to make you feel less mad.
Kick dancing? Like,
Don't you
dancing
kick dance
while-
when you get angry?
Generally, I have not done that, but I'm trying to imagine you doing it, and it's pretty funny.
It's funny because I've heard the term punch dancing before, but not kick dancing, but really it makes sense that they'd be the same
I
thing,
have two
right?
images in my head with kick dancing. I don't know if it's like I'm so mad I just need to like kick just like chaotically, or if it's like a chorus line where we're like,
Oh, I see.
See, that-
and one,
that
and
I've
two,
done.
and kick,
That I-
and one, and two, and kick, and fan kick, and step, turn, pivot, turn. God, I hope I get it.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm gonna try kick dancing next time I'm mad. I'll report
excited.
back and let y'all
Will you
know how it
please
goes.
film it and then put it in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship group?
Wow.
God,
That would
Jase is
be-
gonna have to catch me next time I'm mad. He's gonna have to remember.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
gonna have to
I'll try to
go with me
remember,
into
and
kick
then,
dancing.
then I'll have to kind of sneak into the doorway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yes, you are. All right.
Okay, well, I'll experiment with that and let you know. Maybe it's going to be a hit. Maybe that's going to be the next
Oh, I'm
thing
sure
to
it
sweep the
will be.
nation. I'm going to write a
I'm
book
sure.
about how kick dancing is the secret to controlling your anger.
Yeah,
I love it.
exactly.
That was it. That was the end of the chapter. That was
Wow.
a wacky chapter.
Well, let's find out how much more angry Yahweh is going to get in this next chapter. But first, holy moly, we're at our halfway point. So we're going to take
Already.
a brief moment to talk about how you can support this show, keep these live shows coming to you for free, as well as this podcast coming for free. Okay, here we go. Chapter 10. Woe to those who decree unrighteous decrees.
I
And-
agree.
And to the writers who write perverseness.
Oh my God, looking at you, L. James.
Terrible.
To turn aside I'm just going to move on. To turn aside the needy from justice and to rob the poor of my people of their right, that widows may be their spoil and that they may make the fatherless their prey. So now we're back to
Okay,
some
well,
more
now
good
going
widows
back to
and-
them now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we like them again. We really want to keep them safe and protected, even if they speak folly like everybody else.
Maybe it was like, okay, maybe this is all written down from a live oration of his visions. And when he said that thing about
Probably.
the widowed and fatherless before, everyone's like, and so he's kind of like backpedaling a little bit now.
That was him experimenting with more edgy comedy in his edgy set, and
yeah,
realized
yeah.
it really didn't fit with his brand, so he's backing off a little bit.
Right.
Too much
I
controversy.
really-
Don't want to get canceled on Bible Twitter.
That's true. I really could see him though, like having a show where he's on a stage and everybody's like watching him do this, and
just prophesy?
yeah, he's prophesying. Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty. I don't know. It's pretty intense prophesizing.
Yeah, I mean,
Prophesizing.
what else
Yeah.
do people have for entertainment these days?
Very
right?
little, I'm assuming.
Heaven knows there's no internet. What you gonna do?
Yeah,
Hang out
like-
with the cows.
Pick some garbage grapes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
cool.
pick garbage grapes. I don't know, try to eat your neighbor as a fire, or
Kick
like
dance.
Oh, someone said, yeah, Annalisa said lyres and harps and dancing. Oh my. It's true.
what will you do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help, and where will you leave your glory? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Over there. I'm going to leave
is
it
that?
right over there.
Just power through. Just power on through.
The message translates it as Judgment Day. So the visitation, the day of visitation, I guess that makes sense.
When God visits you and is like, hello, it's Judgment Day.
Yeah, exactly. They shall only bow down under the prisoners and shall fall under the slain. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Ho, Assyrian, the rod of my anger, the staff in whose hand is my indignation. I will send him against a profane nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge, to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
Mire? What is mire?
In the murk and mire.
Like in the muck and the mire.
The muck and the mire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
What does it mean? Mire is a stretch of swampy or boggy ground.
Yeah.
So just like the puddles.
A situation or state of difficulty, distress, or embarrassment from which it is hard to extricate oneself.
Okay, so embarrassing sticky puddles. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, that fits.
Cool.
That tracks.
There you go.
However, he doesn't mean so. Neither does his heart think so. But it is in his heart to destroy and to cut off not a few nations. Lots of them.
Not a few. Everyone. All of them. Many.
I have whiplash from going back and forth so fast. Okay.
Yeah, okay, he doesn't mean to. That's not in his heart, but really he does want to destroy.
Right. I'm like, which is it? What are you saying?
He's all over the place.
God doesn't want to, stomp on his children, but he's got to do it.
Yahweh,
I feel like that's what's happening here.
Yahweh's not mad. He's just disappointed.
He's really disappointed. He's going to turn you into a flame.
Yeah.
Into a flame-eating flame. And yeah.
Yeah. For he says, aren't my princes all of them kings?
I'm assuming some of them are probably princes and not kings. But maybe.
But aren't my princes all of them kings? Isn't Kalno as Charchamish? Isn't Hamath as Arpad? Isn't Samaria as Damascus?
Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna have to write those ones down.
Who's Carchemish? Arpad. It's the new iPad. Arpad is the new iPad.
I mean, I guess these are just probably names of kings who may also be princes.
Yeah, okay, as in like they're the representatives.
Maybe, I guess, yeah.
I'm gonna write it down. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Got it. As my hand has found the kingdoms of the idols, whose engraved images did excel them of Jerusalem and of Samaria. The kingdoms of the idols, I think I watched that anime series. Whose engraved images did excel them of Jerusalem and of Samaria. Shall I not, as I have done to Samaria and her idols, do so to Jerusalem and her idols? Therefore,
probably.
of course. Therefore, it shall happen that when the Lord has performed his whole work on Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout of heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks.
What does that mean, high looks? Like, is he a good-looking guy?
Yeah, I'm really curious about the king of Assyria now. The fruit of the stout-heartedness of the king of Assyria and his high looks.
Now, the question is...
I'm going to put that...
Is he a really good and good-looking guy? Or
is this
am I
just because
reading
the king
too
of
much into
Assyria
this?
has abs and everyone hates him for it?
I see.
Good looks.
It's funny because when I read high looks, I was thinking more like your nose is in the air, kind of like you're better than everyone.
Well,
maybe he has that happening too.
Yeah, he looks down on everybody.
He's like a Dorian Gray.
Yeah, like a Jase.
Yeah. No, I was going to say that, but I was going to let you say it so that he was angry at you and not me.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but Jase doesn't age and has not aged for basically the entire time that I've known him. And so I'm pretty convinced
that's been a really long time.
It's been a really long time. I'm pretty sure there's a portrait of Dorian Gray situation going on. So
yeah, we just have to find the portrait. But
Yeah.
Dedeker
There is a
knows where it
cursed
is.
portrait.
She's just
There-
afraid to
okay.
open it.
There literally is a cursed portrait that his family owns that, like, get this, it's been wrapped up for years. It was gifted to the family by someone who literally told them,
Is it a
"Please take
picture of
this."
Jase?
Hold on. Literally told the family, take this portrait from me and destroy it. And instead of destroying it, the family held on to it.
Why have I
And
not heard this story?
I have not gotten to look at this portrait. Jase has not shared this portrait with me. I just know where it is. So, Jase, there's just... We're going to blow this case wide open. Just you wait.
It's been in my family since before I was born, I think. It used to be up in my grandparents' house, but now it's all wrapped up
And everyone
at
in
my
your
mom's
family
house.
looks really young.
It's true. Good genes or good portrait.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
If he
Anyway,
opens it,
I will say I do want to look at this portrait because what I do know is that for sure looking at this portrait, which is of some old lady, that's all I know.
Yep.
Is that looking at this portrait of this old lady is gonna for sure grant upon the viewer unending youth. However, what Jace has not shared with me is what's the drawback? What's the monkey paw catch?
That's the part the curse forbids me from saying. So
yeah.
unfortunately,
So it's a little bit of a gamble.
okay.
okay, well,
Some people in the chat are asking if we can open this portrait on a bonus episode or on a
it's,
video.
I mean, y'all are going to be in Minneapolis for like a bit, but
A
once
couple
y'all get
weeks-
back,
a couple weeks, like we definitely could. I'm a little worried about the liability there because if by opening it we curse a bunch of people,
why are you going to curse a bunch of people?
Because a bunch of people are going to watch it. We do not have the
Oh,
legal
that's a good point.
resources to handle
You're absolutely right.
Right.
It's why
Intergenerational curses.
We have an LLC, right?
To protect us from all those curse lawsuits.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Okay, well, Dedeker and I are in Minneapolis for at least another month, so it's not going to happen right away, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Shall I not wait? Right. Shall I not, as I have done to Samaria and her idols, do so to Jerusalem and her idols? Therefore, it shall happen when the Lord has performed his whole work on Mount Zion. Wait, I read all this already.
yes. Fruit,
And it's high looks. High looks. That's where we left off.
High looks.
Portrait of Dorian Gray.
13.
Yes.
Okay. For he has said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom. For I have understanding, and I have removed the bounds of the peoples, and have robbed their treasures, and like a valiant man I have brought down those who sit on thrones. Another : and my hand has found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathers eggs that are forsaken, have I gathered all the earth, again, we have not had a period yet, and there was none that moved the wing, or that opened the mouth, or chirped, period.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
Okay. Okay, so there's some bird imagery, some
We had-
stealing
there's
of
eggs.
eggs, some chirping.
I'm waiting for John Michael to tell us what happened.
tell us.
Will somebody tell us what happened?
More
I need to know what
importantly-
Eugene says.
More importantly, there were 3 colons in one sentence,
That is a lot.
which is amazing.
What does Eugene say? I have to know.
Okay, here's Eugene's translation. Fewer colons I see right away.
Good.
Okay.
I've done all this by myself. I know more than anyone. I've wiped out the boundaries of whole countries. Period.
Yeah.
I've walked in and taken anything I wanted. Period. I charged in like a bull, or like a wrecking ball, and toppled their kings from their thrones. Period. I reached out my hand and took all that they treasured as easily
PS5.
as a boy taking a bird's eggs from a nest. Like a
And no chirping.
Yeah, no chirping. Like a farmer gathering eggs from the henhouse, I gathered the world in my basket, and no one so much as fluttered a wing, or squawked, or even chirped.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
so it's
that
a
makes
farmer.
more. Thank you, Eugene.
Yes,
I
that's
understand
good.
it more now.
Good job, Eugene. Thank you for painting that like old MacDonald E-I-E-I-O imagery for us.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Next set
That's
of weird
bonkers.
imagery.
Okay.
Shall the axe boast itself against him who hews therewith? That was a really good sentence.
The axe is going to like be like, look at how sharp I am, or
Yeah,
what?
like is the axe gonna say, yeah, I'm the badass when it's really the axeman who is the badass?
Yeah.
Because
Or is it not? That's a very deep philosophical question.
It is the chicken or the egg, the axe or the axeman.
Yeah, who actually chops down? Who is the badass?
Right. Who chops down the tree? Yeah, that is a good
The
question.
axe does. But we created tools. All right.
Boy.
Well,
I guess that metaphor holds up with Yahweh here too. So, okay.
yeah.
Next metaphor. Shall the saw magnify itself against him who wields it? As if a rod.
Probably.
As if a rod should wield those who lift it up. Or as if a staff should lift up him who is not wood.
But
Sick
okay,
burn on wood out of nowhere.
the rods. I understood the rods. Like, how can a rod wield a person? But why is it with the staff? It's like a person who's not wood specifically.
Yeah.
How dare
But
it?
what person is wood?
Well, witches.
Like a golem?
Yeah, witches for sure.
Also maybe golems. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, I think end of those metaphors. Therefore, will the Lord Yahweh of hosts send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory there shall be kindled a burning like the burning of fire. Not exactly.
Not
but
exactly,
like,
but
yeah.
similar to it. Like an electrical burn, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Or a gas fire, maybe, something like that. The light of Israel will be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame, and it will burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day. He will consume the glory of the forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body, and it shall be as when a standard bearer faints.
What happens when a standard bearer faints?
What is a standard
hilarious.
bearer?
Like a little boy on the battlefield who holds up like the flag or the banner
Oh, like
for that particular
the guy,
troop.
the kid in Les Mis.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the standard
We
is
all
like
know
the
what
big
happened to
flag
him,
of that house, you know.
So the
Okay.
kid faints, and then what? He gets knocked in the head with his own standard.
I mean, I think it's more like that's really embarrassing for the army that's behind this standard, maybe.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Why'd he faint?
You know, poor nutrition,
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Right. Saw too
Alright.
many. Or maybe the
Dead
staff,
bodies.
the staff of his standard picked him up.
Got
That's
it.
just untenable.
Okay. All right. The remnant of the trees of his forest shall be so few, so that a child may write them.
Wow.
Lots of sick burns on
burn.
children
Yeah, exactly.
this time
Jeez.
around. Children, orphans, just everyone's going under the bus.
It
That's how
shall,
Lin-Manuel do, you know? Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and those who are escaped of the house of Jacob, thank you, shall no more again lean on him who struck them, but shall lean on Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. A remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, to the mighty God. For though your people, Israel, be as the sand of the sea, only a remnant of them shall return. A destruction is determined, overflowing with righteousness.
Such righteousness. Whoa.
For a full end, and that determined, will the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, make in the midst of all the earth.
What's
Therefore-
a full end?
Like, just gonna wipe them
Like-
out.
Oh, okay. Like end period. Like
Yes.
full stop.
Full
I think
stop.
so, yeah.
Cool. Can you imagine? I'm sorry. Like, can you imagine being like this all-powerful being, like ridiculously all-powerful that like can create an earth, animals, trees, cool shit, and people, and then it's just like, you know what? I'm over it. We're gonna get rid of that. Like, start over. I need a new Animal Crossing island. Okay, like we're gonna get rid of it.
I'm tired of all my islanders.
Exactly.
I just realized that there's another song in Handel's Messiah that I think is referencing this. It's the one where he's talking about, and he is like a refiner's fire. He says, for who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire. Like there's a whole thing about, there's like a big baritone solo in the thing where he's singing about
like
Yahweh messing people up. It's so good. It's probably one of the best pieces in the thing. That's hard to say though. They're all so good. Anyway.
Cool. I need to listen.
Yeah, we'll listen.
Okay. Neat.
Maybe we'll even check out a little bit in the bonus episode if I can find a recording that's public domain. We'll see what we can do. Or just comment on it enough that it's fair use. We'll see. Okay. Therefore, thus says the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, my people who dwell in Zion, don't be afraid of the Assyrian, though he strike you with the rod and lift up his staff against you after the manner of Egypt.
2,000 crunches right in front of your eyes.
2,000, go! Whoa!
For yet a very little while, and the indignation against you shall be accomplished, and my anger shall be directed to his destruction.
Okay, good. That's good. That's good for the Israelites.
Yes, this is good. This is good news now. Yahweh of hosts will stir up against him a scourge, as in the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Oreb, and his rod will be over the sea.
That rock.
And he will lift it up after the manner of Egypt.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of rods happening.
A lot of rods.
Just like rods for days, okay?
Yes.
There's so much phallic imagery in this book, but in like all books.
In all books.
What do you mean? Every single book?
Not in every single book, but like just like in American culture, like phallic symbols are all over the place.
Everywhere.
Look at the Washington Monument. Look at that thing.
You guys just can't stop looking at your own crotches. Just love it.
No, really though, it's kind of amazing. It is. Yeah.
Okay. It shall happen in that day that his burden shall depart from off your shoulder, and his yoke from off your neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed by reason of fatness.
What? Destroyed by reason of fatness. Like you are going to be so prosperous, the yoke's going to be destroyed?
I guess so. That's got to be it. It's got to be it.
Wow. Okay.
Cool.
He has come to Ayath. He has passed through Migron. At Michmash, he lays up his baggage. That's where the ballots are.
It's where the luggage storage is?
Yeah, for sure.
They are gone over the pass. They have taken up their lodging at Geba. Ramah trembles. Gibeah of Saul is fled. Cry aloud with your voice, daughter of Galim. Listen, Laisha. Exclamation point.
Listen.
That was a full sentence. Listen, Laisha. I think she was not paying attention during this part of the prophecy. And it ended up in the transcript here. You poor Anathoth. Madmenah is a fugitive. The inhabitants of Gebim flee for safety.
This is getting into like some H.P. Lovecraft style stuff. Like we're going to start talking about the pit of the Shoggoths and stuff like that.
Who?
This very day shall he halt at Nob. He shakes his hand at the mountain of the daughter of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem, you mountain of Zion. Behold, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, will lop the boughs with terror,
Whoa.
And the high stature shall be hewn down, and the lofty shall be brought low. He will cut down the thickets of the forest with iron, and Lebanon shall fall by a mighty one. End of chapter.
That was really intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Calm down, Yahweh. Whoa.
I feel like I was tracking it until the very end there. That was like when he peaked. I swear every single time he's got to be on some kind of psychoactive that just kicks in and then just goes off the freaking rails.
I guess you're right.
Into
This
outer
isn't
space.
Yahweh. This isn't Yahweh. This is freaking Isaiah.
Speaking on behalf
for
of Yahweh. Yeah.
But is he
Yes.
though? Or is he just like, whoa, man, like, whoa, I gotta say this. Lots coming to me. And it's Yahweh, but like, whoa.
That was a lot. Where did we start with this chapter? We started with, writers writing perversiveness. That's good. And then we ended with this with freaking listen, Laisha and everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You ready to take us home?
I'm so ready.
Dedeker.
Chapter 11. There shall come forth a shoot out of the stock of Jesse.
Jesse's line the crown.
Yep, this is it.
And a branch out of his roots shall bear fruit. The Spirit of Yahweh shall rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh.
Okay, I get why people are all about, like, this is about Jesus, because they're talking about it a lot.
Yes, yeah, he comes back to this prophecy a lot.
Oh, does he?
His delight shall be in the fear of Yahweh, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither decide after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and decide with equity for the humble of the earth. And he shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth.
Okay.
And
I knew deep in my brain's heart.
deep in my mouth's rod. And with the breath of his lips shall he kill the wicked. Just gonna
Breathe
them right
rods
out.
on them.
Yeah. Righteousness shall be the belt of his waist, and faithfulness the belt of his loins. I didn't realize you needed two separate belts there.
Yeah, wait. What are the two belts
Mine
of?
is so mighty that I need a belt for it. Like, keep it in. I'm sorry. Like, what?
It's like a belt around your waist for your pants, and then like a dance belt for your loins to keep it all.
Oh, that
got
actually
it.
does make sense, because those are
Well,
both
that
called
makes-
belts. Yeah.
Okay, Dedeker. Okay, I see
Okay.
it.
The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf
Oh.
and the young lion and the fattened calf together, and a little child shall lead
Calf.
them. That's another famous
Lion.
one.
Yeah, this is
Wait,
super
really?
famous.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just... What?
Well,
Try it
usually, I
again.
feel like I usually heard this verse as about like the lion laying down with the lamb. This one is
Oh.
translating it as a wolf or a
Well,
leopard.
yeah, it says the wolf... a lion with a lamb, really?
Yeah, well, both. I mean, both are equally preposterous.
What is
That's
this
all you
about?
know.
It's just saying, like...
There's going to be an end to conflict and
Okay.
war. Yes.
Oh,
The next is the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. There's more. There's even more. The sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the
Whoa.
weaned child
What?
shall put his hand on the adder's den.
Yeah.
So just
uh,
all these natural predators are not going to give any poops. It's all going to be great. It's going to be great.
Asps are scary.
yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Cleopatra
Yeah.
stuff.
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. It shall happen in that day that the root of Jesse, who stands for an ensign of the peoples, to him shall the nations seek, and his resting place shall be glorious. It shall happen in that day that the Lord will set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, who shall remain from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. He will set up an ensign for the nations, and will assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and those who vex Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. They shall fly down on the shoulder of the Philistines on the west. Together shall they despoil the children of the east. They shall put forth their hand on Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them.
Can I read you just real quick a message version of
Yes.
Please
that
do.
thing of Judah and Ephraim? It says, Judah no longer the hostile rival of Ephraim. Blood brothers united, they'll pounce on the Philistines in the west.
Besties,
Wow.
that's cute.
I love it.
We're gonna go take down this other tribe. Woo!
Woo! Yahweh will utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his scorching wind will he wave his hand over the river, and will strike it into 7 streams, and cause men to march over in sandals.
What?
You kind of lost me at the end there. It was so epic, and then I guess
They're
maybe
gonna
Be
be so annoyed.
walking around in their Birkenstocks.
It's gonna get all soggy and it's gonna be uncomfortable.
I guess he's meaning that he's making it from a big river. You would have needed like a boat, that instead you can just go across in sandals.
Okay,
I
all
think
right,
that's
it's a good thing. Gotcha.
Cool.
There shall be a highway for the remnant of his people who shall remain from Assyria, like as there was for Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt. The end.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing. The end of Isaiah.
Every time we get to the end of a reading from Isaiah, I feel like I've tripped also. I've been like, what
little
happened?
bit.
Where did we go? I feel profoundly moved and a little uncomfortable, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
how he
quite a
gets you.
lot. I just want to bring up, like, God, or Isaiah at least, is prophesying all these things, but it's a lot of talk, right? It's a lot of talk. That's all that it is. He's just like, look at all these things that I could do.
So as in just it's a lot of
Probably
Isaiah
not
talking
going to
and,
do it.
and not a lot of action. Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah, a little less conversation, a little more action, God.
Right.
But maybe
Okay.
not, because that would mean that a lot of people would die. So maybe not.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to encourage that behavior.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
but
and it's also
fascinating.
with all of this stuff, like the debate is always, is he prophesying something that was going to happen very shortly, like within his lifetime, or
I
in
don't
the
know.
next generation or so, or as a lot of Christians like to believe, was he prophesying stuff that wasn't going to happen for hundreds of more years, or maybe more, right?
Patrick,
It's Jesus hundreds and hundreds of years?
Yeah.
yes.
'Cause we're like
from this point in time,
roughly
yes.
around 500-ish BC. So quite a few more hundred years before Jesse's line the crown.
Patrick in the chat is asking, how would we portray this part in the DBS movie?
That's
Yeah.
a good question. Maybe
mean-
it's just like a montage of his Isaiah being like, and blah, 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 and God, 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 and do. Like, that would be it.
So you're thinking not even to get into the content, just do the important
Well, do
pithy
maybe
stuff.
like a couple of the important things, yeah. But that's it.
I think the thing we're
Is
forgetting
all of-
here is this section of the DBS movie is a musical, because Lin-Manuel Miranda's going to help write this section.
It's just
so,
Lin-Manuel Miranda, like at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, just like rapping all this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and maybe all these scenes will be acted out by dancers. So maybe this whole thing's a big dance
Well, that's
number
good.
along with the
it's
song.
like the ballet sequence in the musical, you know?
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah, and like Carousel, the
Right.
Yeah.
freaking ballet sequence.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, that actually
Okay.
sounds super cool. I'd watch this.
Can we
Just
do
let
it
the
very?
rich folks love more. Yeah.
This is okay. Can we do it like a ballet sequence, but very Einstein on the beach, like just
Super
It's
abstract.
Einstein on the beach.
very abstract. Einstein on the beach is this like 600-hour Philip Glass piece performance.
I think
It's not 600, it's like
technically
4 hours, 5
think
hours
it's
maybe.
technically classified as a ballet. But
Okay.
yeah,
Philip.
it's very abstract and very many hours long. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, Phil.
yeah.
You do that. Wow.
I went and saw a production of it once. And I brought a person to it who did not appreciate it. Chose the wrong person to bring to
Yikes.
Einstein on the Beach. And I showed up to the performance so hungry, like I just totally neglected my eating schedule that
That's
day.
a bad choice
So-
for a 6-hour long ballet.
So hungry that it was a little bit of a trip. You know, it like the
You're
best
like,
I could do
I'm
is like
just-
buying some almonds at the snack bar. And
Yeah.
and it just made no sense. And actually, that was kind of nice. I just kind of let it wash over me, all the abstractness. Anyway, that's what we're going to
Yeah.
do. Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be rapping all of this, and there's going to be some like Philip Glass, Einstein on the Beach style dancers just dancing abstractly and repetitively, and it's going to be great. And we're going to charge $300 a ticket for it, and we're going to make so much money.
Yep. Because by that point,
Gotta get
everyone's
some
going to
really
be
good dancers.
so desperate for live entertainment that they'll pay it. They'll pay that
Yes.
$300. We need to
True.
get Lynn
It's
on the
not-
phone real quick here.
Yeah.
So we got to start choreographing.
Anyone know Lynn?
and- yeah. And Lynn,
if you know
if
Lynn,
you're listening,
call us. Okay?
Lynn, if you're listening,
you know Lynn,
send an
email us at info@drunkbiblestudy.com.
Exactly. Thank you, Lynn.
I'm going to let Lynn know more about how he can get in touch with us. So Lynn
Okay,
Manuel
do it.
Miranda, if you want a toast on the show, you can, more than you've already gotten, you can sign up to become one of our parishioners at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy.
Come on,
And
Lynn. Come on.
Lynn, if you are listening, thank you for joining us for Bible study today. And Lynn, if you want even more Drunk Bible Study, if you want ad-free episodes, early releases, again, those personal toasts on the show, we would love to do it. You can become one of our patrons. Again, go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. And Lynn, what we would really love is if you do enjoy the show, just take a moment to subscribe, and then you can write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher and let
Make a
other people
really
know
nice
what you
one.
like about it. Yeah, it would be really nice of you, Lynn. And you can also join, there's other people who listen to this show. It's not just you, Lynn. You can join our fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. You can find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or Lynn, you can even send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. In case you were wondering, Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jase Lindgren, Emily Matlack, and me, Dedeker Winston. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, Lynn, please visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad.